Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. 62 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for first and 10. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
59. They're not ready for this, man. Alpha. Ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Slams. Hey, 382. Last 50.
On second down, Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's fourth down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And Bailey able to knock it through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 23. They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Second year in Oakland for Walter after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, yeah, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, first and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Check 59.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Getting the sense Charles are going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Cut.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 31.
Gun. Mike.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Gun. Let's get that ball. Check. Gun. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. 6-man.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Hey, Steamer. All day, baby, all day. 150. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". You don't want that. You don't get it. Pick up that.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score Raiders 7, Vikings 3.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, Smallwood. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns.
Lucky 48.
On second down now, it's Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Punt formation. Come on, boys, come on. 87's me. 87. Hey, Charlie. Mike, check. 59. Check. Hey, Ringo, 48. Hey, alert 3.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Check 13. Check 13.
Carr now on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Carr. Aguilar has it. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6 at the 43-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Broken tackle. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jacobs. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Carr now on 1st down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Marr now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to them.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie from Clemson, Trayvon Mullen. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play.
That's caught at the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check four, check safety.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. Oh, good move. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
No game on this defense, no game.
Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. There he goes, right side. That all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go. First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Mike 5-9. Gun. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Yellow, yellow, yellow. 59.
3rd and long for Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Maurice Hurst providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
132 fighter. Black. Big Ed. Hey, flipper.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Carr. Completes it to Aguilar. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I didn't get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now Carr. It's caught by Aguilar. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive lineman.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Around the NFL 3rd quarter from Foxborough. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. He'll air this one toward Coleman. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 34.
Pull it high. Check 26, check 26.
The 36-yard line.
Lean it, 48.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The 1st sack of his NFL career. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
64,
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Raiders' 9-yard line.
Lots 59. 59.
On 2nd and 2, Cousins. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now the 2nd down throw on target. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. I'm coming.
To throw again, Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Carr again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Give me that ball. Hey, flipper. He's checking. Rhino. He's coming. Double up.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
Hey, can't. Shit. Whip. Watch the whip.
Maybe a free play here. Cousins. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Mike, check. Bingo. 59. Defense wins championships, man. Throw.
Second down, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
It's just me and you.
Carr now on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. And this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over. Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
55. Watch the backer, watch the backer. Check, 55 to Mike. Hey, Raider 2. 55 to Mike.
Carr going to throw here. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A first down throw for Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Demarius Randall.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Watch 54. Watch the shift.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. He's going to try and go deep again. It got his man complete. A big play that time for the Raiders. 48 yards. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Raiders, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles